So as we come to the end of Black History Month, we've all been part of the learning that's been shared, and we've heard about some inspirational role models from across the University Hospitals of Northamptonshire. Black History Month is an important celebration as it celebrates the contribution that Black and Caribbean colleagues have made both to this country but also particularly to the NHS. Black History Month 2022, the theme is Time for Change, Action, Not Words. And I really take that challenge seriously within our organisation, in that we know that there are colleagues who still experience discrimination, both from staff but also from patients, and that's not good enough, and we need to move on to take some concrete action to really address these issues. And that's really important because when we have an organisation where everyone feels valued and has a sense of belonging, then we really move ourselves on as an organisation and make work more pleasurable, and we know that when people are happy at work, then the care they deliver is better. The actions that I've tried to take are to spend time with colleagues from the REACH network, and I have time in my diary where colleagues can come and talk about anything that's concerning them, and we've had some brilliant conversations. Through that I've learned things like what it means to have a visa that you're worried about over the course of time, what it feels like to get indefinite leave to remain, and some of the challenges around coming into this country and not really having a sense of community to fall into, and how important that having the support of your colleagues is in doing that. One of the things I'm really proud of that's happened over the last few months is the setting up of a career conversations network. In that, a number of senior leaders across the organisation have allocated some time in their diaries to have conversations with colleagues from the REACH network about their career progressions, because we know that a number of people don't necessarily have a network of people to draw upon when they're making important career decisions. And we also know that the whole application and interview construct comes from a particular white, westernised approach, which is often confusing for colleagues. And so we're trying to do what we can to put those frameworks in place to help people approach that interview and that application process in a much more informed and supported way. I think it's also important to recognise that Black History Month is a moment in time where we celebrate the contribution that Black and African colleagues have made, but it shouldn't be just a 1 month process. This is about tackling the need for diversity and the lack of inclusion all year round. So I'd like to think, as we look back on Black History Month, that we use this as a moment in time to redouble our efforts for equality and diversity within this organisation.
Black History Month is a time to celebrate and understand Black history and culture. It's a real opportunity to have conversations about race and strengthen our awareness and understanding, and build our commitment to an anti-racist culture here at NGH. A curious two-way dialogue is really essential to building that awareness and building relationships and trust across the organisation. And it's also really essential to deliver real excellence in patient care so that we really understand our patients as a whole person, and we understand what's important to them from their cultural background or their heritage, which really tells us something about how they like to be cared for as an individual. So a really key contributory factor to the lack of progress in race equality can sometimes be an unwillingness to recognise the impact it has on our colleagues and recognise the impact it has on our patients if we don't start to have a really honest dialogue about this. So our commitment from a Team NGH perspective needs to be really understanding the importance of race and culture to really drive an anti-racist culture here. So to some extent, our Black colleagues are expected to experience racism, and not only that, they're expected to create solutions to solve it. And this absolutely is not the culture we want to create here at NGH. I'm personally committed with my executive team to create the structures and the culture that supports our Black colleagues. So the commitment we all need to make is to be an ally for our colleagues and create an inclusive culture every day here at NGH, and to give a voice to those colleagues who don't feel they have one. So my personal commitment is to stand by our Black colleagues and be an ally and support levelling them up and creating a culture here at NGH that's truly inclusive. And this will obviously play a really key role in ensuring our patients receive care in a truly compassionate and really inclusive way.